Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my introduction to graphic novels video, and I have been planning to do this video since about January. Yeah, I thought about it in January, February, and then come March I was like, yeah, this is gonna happen, this is happening. And then come April I was like announcing that it was gonna be happening, which is an automatic jinx, never a good idea for me. I'm just 5 months late. So, graphic novels. A lot of you are probably thinking, aren't those like comics? Aren't I a little too old for that? And I've got a really simple answer to that. No. If anyone tries to tell you that you're too old for graphic novels, slap them in the face. Just gut kick them. It's not cool. Come on. This just brings me back to when I was in my last year of college, my senior year, and I took a class on graphic novels. It was actually on Batman. Batman, yeah. It was two of my favorite professors, one who teaches communications and then the other who is a literature professor. So they were very different people, very different professors, very different styles of teaching and just different personalities, but together it was just like magic. It was magic. Though they did disagree on graphic novels being literature. My literature teacher obviously felt, no, graphic novels are not literature. And then my communications teacher differed on that. He was like, oh, yeah, it is literature. And I had to agree with my communications teacher. I know a lot of people are put off by graphic novels because they just assume they're comics, you know, and I don't. I think that graphic novels are more than that. When I think of comics, I think of comic book strips and the Saturday morning newspaper, you know, something that's just for humor. When I think of a graphic novel, I think of something that has substance and is going to stimulate you. It's not just drawings, it's not just pictures, it's artwork. Artwork that is going to enrich the story, that is going to provide more substance to it. And don't you want something that is going to give you even more substance to the story? When you read books sometimes, when you read books, and I love reading books, so I don't know what that was. What I'm trying to say is that there have been books that I've read and I've been like, what the hell are they trying to say? I don't get it. And then I'll go back and I'll read like a graphic novel version of the book. Click. Ching, I got it. So since this is an introduction to graphic novels video, I'm going to give you my recommendations based on what I think would be good for beginners. My first recommendation is to pick up a story that you already know and love. For instance, Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I feel like if you go into a story already knowing it and already loving it, you're gonna be even more inclined to love the graphic novel. Same with Sherlock Holmes: A Study in Scarlet. Now, a lot of readers might be intimidated by Sherlock Holmes. I know that I was at first. Even though the books are just so easy to read, if you still feel like you're not ready for it, pick up the graphic novel. It makes a world of difference. My second recommendation is going to be very similar to the first one, and it's pick up something that you're familiar with. Pick up something that's based on a TV series you love, or pick up something that's based on a movie you love, or even a twisted version of a fairy tale that you love. Actually, maybe not this one because these really sucked. My next recommendation is going to be pick up some contemporary. I truly feel like I love contemporary even more in graphic novel form. I do love Batman, I do love all the superheroes and all the fantasy elements to graphic novels, but there's something that I love so much about reading contemporary stories in graphic novel settings. The first contemporary that I'm going to recommend is Ghost World by Daniel Clowes. I've talked about this book countless times on my channel. It's just one of my all-time favorites. Ghost World follows two teenage girls, Enid and Rebecca, and they have just graduated from high school and are currently going through the phase that I, at 24, am actually currently going through, the what the hell am I gonna do with my life phase. Rebecca is all for continuing to be best friends, living together, each getting jobs and paying the rent and just going on and continuing their lives and their friendship. But Enid wants more. She wants more than what her small tiny town has to offer, and she doesn't know what she wants, but she knows that she wants more. There is something that is just so fantastic about this book, and I know that the humor, the dark humor element has been off-putting to a lot of people, but I love it so much, and I don't know if that's saying something about me and my twisted humor or something. This isn't about me, okay? This book is about adolescence, relationships, cynicism, dysfunctionalism, and overall just growing up. This book is fantastic and you should pick it up. That's all I'm gonna say. My next contemporary recommendation is Summer Blonde by Adrienne Tomine. And I think that this is the perfect introduction graphic novel to people who are not familiar with graphic novels because it contains short stories. Having said that, once you read these short stories and fall in love with each of the characters, please don't hate me once you realize that there's not an actual full-length novel about each of them. I know. The first story follows a girl named Hillary, and she is a telephone service rep who is having the week from hell. She's lost her apartment, her job, her grandmother, and the way that she decides to reach out to help is through her new job, talking to strangers. That's just one of the stories in this fantastic graphic novel. I really can't speak highly enough about it. I haven't heard anyone mention Adrian Tomine on BookTube. If you're gonna walk away with any recommendation, apart from Ghost World, I really, really want you to walk away with Adrian Tomine because his artwork is just, it's unbelievably, that had some nudity on it. I'm gonna not include that for the youngsters. Beautiful. It really, really is. And I don't want to say that you should judge a graphic novel by its artwork, but I have been guilty of that. I've like picked up a graphic novel before, and because I didn't like the artwork, I didn't pick it up. And I think that I've done a huge disservice to myself by doing that. But I have to say that when I read a graphic novel, I love for it to look like this. My next recommendation is going to be a graphic novel series, and it is the Sin City series by Frank Miller. This series is just one of my all-time favorite graphic novel series. And speaking of what I was talking about before about artwork, Sin City has artwork that I love so much. But when I first looked at it, I wasn't crazy about it. That's one of the things that I have to say to everyone. Like, when you open up a graphic novel and you don't like the artwork, if you're interested in the story, read it anyway, because 9 times out of 10, you're gonna end up loving it. The thing that I love about this series so much is that it follows a group of anti-heroes rather than superheroes. They are like the total opposite of a superhero. The good guys are not fully good. They have so many flaws. They are morally challenged. They mess up, they kill people, they make mistakes, they drink, they have sex. They're killers, prostitutes, people that you would not admire, but no matter what, there is a redeemable quality to each of them, and they're trying to do what they think is right in a city filled with so much corruption, hence the name Sin City. If you're gonna pick up Frank Miller, start with Sin City, please do, because it's so good. It's so good, you guys. It's so good, really. I swear. And also the second movie is coming out in August, just saying. My next recommendation is Watchmen by Alan Moore. I don't think I could do any sort of graphic novel video and not mention Alan Moore. I don't think it's possible. I don't. Watchmen is easily one of the most influential graphic novels in the past 20 years, and it'll probably go down in history as one of the most influential graphic novels of all time. Watchmen follows a group of superheroes, and the story goes back and forth from past to present. The past portraying the superheroes in their prime, and then the present portraying where the superheroes are today. Each of the heroes have been through so much in the past 20, 30 years, and you kind of are left with the thought that they never want anything to do with each other again. But what brings them back together is when a murderer starts picking off the heroes one by one. Throughout the story, there's this constant theme of the deconstruction of a superhero. Most of the heroes don't even have superpowers, and the morality of their actions is constantly in question. These people are damaged, and they have certainly fallen from grace. But there's something about each of them that is important to the public, and in turn, important to the readers as well. A lot of people have conspiracy theories about this book dealing with politics and the Reagan era and the government during the 80s and all that stuff. And I'm not gonna mess with that because I don't want to. But I think that this story is fantastic. I think that each of the characters are intriguing and has something to offer to the plot. It's not something I've seen in graphic novels, let alone novels, all the time. Having said that, this story is very complex, and I know that a lot of people think when they think of graphic novels, this should be easy. This kind of does a whole spin on that. The story is so complex, and yes, it's got pictures and drawings. It adds so much more depth to the story, but it is very complex, and I would definitely recommend picking up maybe Frank Miller's Sin City or Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns before going into this one, because yes, it is amazing. But if you're just getting into graphic novels, I would read a few more before picking this one up. Alright, so that's pretty much all for this video, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. It took me a while to figure out which graphic novels I was going to talk about, but I'm pretty happy with my picks. In the comments below, you guys can let me know if you've read any of these graphic novels or if you intend to. I hope that this video helped give recommendations to people who are just beginning with graphic novels, and also recommendations to people who just love reading graphic novels in general. Also, in the comments below, let me know what some of your favorite graphic novels are, because I would just really love to know. I love graphic novels and I'm always adding more onto my list. Alright guys, so that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one.